Welcome back to this channel. Hope so guys you are doing well. In last lecture we have started introduction to web development and we discussed the PHP, that is the preprocessor hypertext, and in the last video we went over to the variable types. We discussed what are the local and global variables, and we also discussed that how we assess the global variable inside the function. So we discussed that we use the global keyword, okay, to assess that one. So guys, our today's agenda and our today's topic is we will discuss that what PHP static keyword. The third one, we already discussed the guys local and the global one. What is the local variable and what is the global one variable? And today we are discussing what is the static variable and how we use this, or what is the purpose of the static keyword. Okay, guys, if you are new to my channel, kindly do subscribe, like, comment, and share with your friends, family, or relatives. Okay, so before wasting no more time, guys, let's move to some theoretical things. First, we need to understand some theoretical things, that what is the static and why we need it. Guys, I'm just linking with the last lecture. Last time, if you guys remember the second last video that is related to local variables, we discussed that the local variables are such variables that once we define inside the function, we assess inside the function. It is a local scope variable. So what is the purpose of the static keyword? Normally, guys, you know that when the function is executed or compiled, all of its variable are deleted. So, however, beside this, by the way, we want that sometimes we want a local variable. Okay, we want that local variable. Once we define the local variable, we do not want to delete. Okay, we do not want to delete. The reason behind is this, that maybe we use that variable in the future. So that's why when we need that local variable in future, we just add the static keyword before the variable declaration. Like we use the static keyword and you define the dollar x whatever and assign the value. This is, you see the syntax. That's how you define the static keyword. So guys, why we use the static keywords? I told you that sometimes when we define the local variables and we do not want to be deleted, because the reason behind is that we think so that this variable might be used in future. So rather than deleting, we are just defining that variables as static. So that's why we use the static variables whenever we need in the code. So to do this, we use the static keyword when you define or declare the variables. So this is actually the static keyword. Now, guys, let's jump to the code and try to understand what is this one. Okay. So, guys, let's move to the top one. First of all, guys, we have something. Last one, I think I skipped some things which I think I told you today. Okay, so here one. Guys, this is a standard declaration. I hope so this is now clear. Guys, if you are not familiar that what is the standard declaration, soon inshallah I will start the work on HTML. What is the HTML we discussed in our next, maybe in next months when I started the channel as well. So first of all, this is a standard declaration. I told you that HTML contains tags and every tag has its ending or closing. Okay, starting tag is this one and ending tag is this one. Okay, you can bold the text, you can italic the text, so you can underline everything you have written inside the text. So this is guide. I'm not discussing that what is this meta and what is the meaning. This with some advanced things and we'll discuss in the HTML. Now, I am only limiting up to PHP because we are discussing PHP and first we need to understand that PHP. So here is the standard declaration. I defined the PHP here and I defined the two variables, that is the $O, and I assigned the value 20. And second time I defined the $R and I assigned the value, that is you can say float value, float data type. Okay, point value or decimal value I defined. So what I did, guys, I just defined a function here that is my test function. Okay, this course is the last one. This is not this lecture. This is the last one. One code I skipped. This is actually telling you the concept of the global arrays, which we discussed that how once you define how you assess the global variables inside the function. So I told you in the last class that you also use the array as well to assess the global variables. So this is what I use the global array. Okay, I use here array. I just define two function and store the result in one of these variables. I just add these two ones, and here I calls the function that is my test, and here echo I display. Now let's move to the guys. You say that let me first of all erase this, save the file, and let's move to the browser and see what's the result value. Okay, so let me refresh the page and let me just download this one. Okay, so guys, if you see, I have just with this one. There is nothing working. I think I have not saved the file quickly. Let me move to that one and let me correct this one to save this one. And I'm just saving this again, and let's try to do this. Will it work or not? Let's see. I have just finished. I'm refreshing the page. Yes. Now see guys, you see the output that is 33.5. Actually, what I did, I just defined the two variables in the code. Whatever the variable you take here, let's say $x and $y, we defined here. Okay, then we made a function, and inside the function we store that variables in an array. Okay, in array syntax is what we discussed this last very well. Array syntax is this one. Okay, what you need to do, you just yes, you just define this global keyword dollar, and inside this is new array. Always you have written in this package. So you define with single quotes whatever the variable and whatever you want to store. As you see, I store the zero, oh sorry, O and R, and I want to add them, so I add the operator in between these two. So results you see, I got 33.5, which I displayed. So this is guys all are related to the global, you can say array, how we define the array. Hope so this code is guys clear to you. Now I am just going to be move the next one. Okay, I'm just raising this all code because I will not need this code, and I'm just uncommenting this one, and let's try to understand that what is this one. Okay guys, I'm not explaining this all lines. Okay, standard declaration, you know, and this meta tags, this will discuss to the next what are this one. Okay, when we discuss the HTML, roughly idea I'm giving you that yeah, UTF is actually is a standard declaration. This is you say the uh, writing style of the language, and this meta chart set means the viewport, how the screen will see in different devices, what is a width. Okay, is actually that like viewport, portrait mode. Okay, this is like that definitions. So let's move to the direct PHP. Here we define the function that is my code, and this example is related to the static. So I told you if you want to use the local keyword, because local keywords are deleted once you execute a code. So you do not want to delete that variable. So what you want to do, you say that this variable might be used in the future. So what you need to do, you just define the static keyword before the declaring the variable. So once you define these two variables, it means now when you compile this function, this command will be deleted. Okay, because you define that static. You might be thinking that you will use in the future, so you define that static. So what I did simply inside the code. Okay, as you know very well, local variables are defined inside the function as I defined inside the function, and it is always accessible inside the function. As you can see here, I am accessing this one. So what I did, I just did echo this one. Okay, and echo result is this one, and here I inside the function I just displayed echo, and I just want to add this to one, and here I call the function that is my code. These all the things I discussed. So let's guys move to the browser and try to understand that what are these things. Let me switch the browser and refresh the page. Will it work or not? I think I have not set the file again. I always forgot. So for that one, let me first move this one, the other one, and now let's try to run this code with it work or not. Let me now switch the screen. Hope so it will work. Okay, let me switch refresh the page. Yes, as you see, result is 1806. Result is displayed. This is what I did. I just defined two variables and I use the global concept. Okay, sorry, not global. I forgot. It's not. I use a static. I use a static keyword, and what I did, I used the static keyword before declaring the variables. Here I declared there's two one, and inside the function I use the echo statements and what I said to the browser or what I said, what I have written in the code that I want to add the $x and $y, and it displays the result here that it actually not adds, it actually multiplies. If you see the syntax, I think I forgot, it's not addition, it's multiplication. As you see here is the multiplication sign. Echo what I said, you need to multiply these two values, that is 21 and 86, and the result you see on the screen. And guys, this is how you define the static keyword. I hope so now you are familiar that what is the local scope variables, what are the global, and how you use the global scope variable inside the function using the global keyword. And same like the last one which we discussed, as we defined that there are two types, local, global, and the static one. So this is the static one. I hope so this guys code is also clear to you. Now let me just raise this all and move to the next example. Guys, maybe this video may be long due to this contain various codes. Okay, so some are maybe tricky, so do not worry guys. It's a very simple code. We just need to practice at least 2 to 3 times. Hopefully you will get. Now, guys, before moving to the next topic, I'm just moving to some theoretical things and try to give the concept. Here one. Our next topic is, guys, related to this topic is not too be difficult. Very easy topic. PHP echo and print statements. Guys, before we started the PHP, we are using the echo statements. And I told you many of times that echo is always used to display the result. Whatever you want to display the string, you always string, number, variables, whatever you want to display, you use the echo keyword. So now let's try to understand what is the basic differences between the PHP echo and PHP print statements. With PHP, we have basic ways to get output. Okay, uh, uh, like echo and print both are used to displays, but there is some, you can say, differences, small differences. Okay, more or less both are same. Here one, echo and print are more or same, but they are used to display the output of console screen. Console screen is what screen where you see your results. Okay, like the black screen. Okay, once in the compilers, like whenever you are running the code for C++, you ever see that you displays when you run the code, when you compile the code, you see the screen that is black screen. So this is actually called the console screen. Okay, small differences between these two. What are the basic differences between two? As I told you, the first the first one point is this one, that echo and print are more or less same. Both are used to displays. Okay, this inshallah come in course we will discuss it. Both are used to displays the output of the console screen. Small difference is that echo has no return value, while print has a return value. One can be used. Special things will come in the type of functions. When we discuss the functions, so here we discuss these things in detail. That what is the return value? Okay. So second one is that echo can take multiple arguments. Okay, while print can take only one. What are the arguments? Like you define the function, like I defined in the previous code, that is my code. Okay, and I write these brackets, right? As you see in the last code, what I did, I just leave the bracket as it is. When I leave the bracket as it is, it means there are no arguments or parameters. So when I want to define something, or when I want to pass the argument, I need to write inside this bracket. Okay, when I have written something inside this function bracket, this small bracket, it means that I am passing the arguments or I am passing the parameters. So these are the both inputs, parameter or arguments. This shall also come in the functions lecture. Okay, echo is slightly faster than print, and echo can be used without parentheses. You are familiar with this one. So let's jump to the code and try to understand what is this one. Okay, so here we are. Standard declaration is always as same. So PHP Here, what I did, I use the Echo PHP scripting language. These are actually the H1, which you see this H1 starting tag and H1 closing tag. What are these ones? Actually, these are the headings. Headings means that if you want to make your heading big, small, medium, whatever you can adjust. These are actually containing the HTML. HTML has heading H1 up to H6. Okay. If you use the H1, it means the big heading. H5, H6, when you move to the H6, your heading is small. Okay, so these are the HTML tags. Okay, H1 stands for heading. So there I have used the heading 1, H1, so you see your result, you will see a big text written on the screen that PHP scripting language. Second one, I just displayed the echo using the brackets. Okay, as I told you that echo can be used to, you can use to this you can use echo to display this one. Okay, you also use this syntax, or you can use the echo to display something within the brackets. You also use the parentheses as well to display. Without parentheses, echo will also work, or with parentheses, echo will also work. Okay, so third thing, I just use a break one, and this is echo string. You can use these strings as well. Okay, you can combine the strings echo this one bracket, whatever the your long string, whatever you have to return. But if you want to display separate means that you are not writing in one line and you say I'm writing, for example, I have PHP scripting language, so I'm saying I will write PHP separate, is separate, scripting is separate, and language separate. So this method you use everything which you have to return inside the course, then comma, then next word, then comma, then next word, and this one is these all these are wrong. So let's move to the editor one and try to understand what are these ones. Let me save the file first because I always forgot and it will not work if I will not save the file. So let's move the guys and let's refresh the browser. Yes, as you see, when I use the H1 tag, you see this text is quite bigger than these all three. So why this one happens? I told you that HTML headings H1, H2, and up to H6. So H1 is the biggest one, H2 is smaller, and H6 is, to say, more small. Okay, less more. Okay, so these are H1 headings. As you see, hello. And second line, learning PHP, I use the echo with brackets. I told you with brackets it also work, but without brackets it also work. So this is the third one where I have written the various things in quotes, then comma, then next word. I write everything, every word in separate. You see different quotes. Okay, so this, as you see, this the result will happen that this line contain multiple quotes. This is how your browser works. Okay, so hope so guys this code is also visible to you. So now let's jump to the next one. That is what we call the print statement. Echo, I hope so you understand very well that what is the echo and how we use. As I just use simple, both are used to displays, but the only difference, one take multiple arguments, or one take only one arguments. Okay, one is quite faster and uh, so last code for today's lecture. So standard declaration, print statement is also used. Okay, print command, print, you want to print this one, you want to print this one, or you want to print this one. This is not to be what I explained. These all things are very easy. So there's no explanation here. I just want to simple save the file and press run and see what's the result will appear. And let move to this one and let me refresh down the page, and you see everything is the same. Okay, here why this text is small, because I use the heading H2 not H1. If I use the H1 then this text would be more bigger. Okay, I use the H2 tag, that's why it's quite small. If you use the H6 it will be more small. So as you see, Umar Sheza, then I want to learn PHP in every separate line. Why it is every step for separated? If you want to display something in next line, you just use the break statement. Yeah, okay, keep in mind. Break. If I show you in the code, you see I use a break statements here. Uh, not I use, yeah, I use here. Yeah, here you can see this one break, BR. Break, I use a statement here, so that's why it's separated these lines. Okay, so this is how your today's guys video. Okay, what we learned today, we learned that how the static variables works. Okay, and what is the purpose of the static keywords, and we today we also understand that what is the difference between PHP echo statement and PHP print statement. Okay, I told you both are the same, just only difference between these two one, that one take the multiple arguments or one take the one arguments only, as here we discussed in this file. Yeah, echo is more slightly faster than the print. Okay, echo can be used or without parentheses. Small differences between two. Very important point that echo has no return value while print has one. And second one take multiple arguments and the second one take only one argument. So these are a little bit slightly different we discussed. Also, guys, you like my video and you are enjoying my video. Guys, if you like my video, kindly do subscribe, share, and comment, and please give me the subscription. Okay, your subscription gives me the motivation, guys. In next lecture would be related to the functions and variables, very important in data types first we discussed. Okay, so we will discuss that things. Hope so, guys, you will like my video. Kindly do subscribe, share. Thank you.